What would it be like to only play for a limited amount of time per day on hardcore survival where you must farm potatoes? Well, those are the rules for this challenge. I can only play for 1 hour per episode, I can never die, and if I don't farm potatoes at least once per episode, I must delete the world. Are we all clear? Perfect. And as all of the start, we started by getting some wood, and at this point, I already had a plan in mind. There was an ocean right there, which could contain a shipwreck, and thus all I needed was 3 wood so that I could get a boat and sail over there to the... Wait. Do you see this tree? This has to be the tallest birch tree I've ever seen. But anyways, after making my way down towards the ocean, I saw a village in the distance and began instead making my way towards that. Along the way, I dug up a piece of gravel to be used later to make a flint and steel, and, failed to pick it up. Disregarding that, we were now in a village, and this village contained potatoes. So we can cross that off our list of goals for this episode. I then stole a bit of iron armor and ruthlessly attacked this poor stuck iron golem in a tree with just my fist. However, that wasn't enough iron, so the next item on our list was to get a little more through a shipwreck. And we did find a shipwreck, however it didn't give us that much iron, but it did contain a buried treasure map. Get it? Because under gravel and it's... yeah, never mind. It did give us the iron we need though, and then I got a bit of flint. I got a bit of flint, made some tools, and got some food. Oh shoot. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. So that's another 2 things off of our list. We've gotten potatoes, we've gotten iron, and we've even got food. Now, we're going to want to wait for it to turn nighttime. You may be wondering why on earth we'd actually want it to be nighttime. Well, that is when mobs start spawning. More specifically, it's when creepers start spawning. Why creepers? Well, they drop gunpowder. A little while ago, we actually came across some paper in that shipwreck, and we can combine that paper with gunpowder to make firework rockets. We can then use those firework rockets when we eventually get to the end to fly around with our elytra and find better gear in the end cities. And so creepers we went a-killing. After getting a little more food, it was time to move on to the next item on our list, which was to enter the Nether. And thus we had to find a lava pool. After probably too long, we found a ruined portal which had lava around it, and we made ourselves a makeshift portal from it. And to continue the seed's theme of weirdness, the place we entered was probably the worst spawn ever. I spent literally 4 minutes just looking for a way out into an open area. Oh my gosh, we're out. And after a small, tiny, minuscule 8 minutes, we found the Bastion. So naturally, I started bridging over, and then set myself on fire. After that great start, my main priority was dealing with the piglin brutes, as they deal a lot of damage and can't even be traded with. Once I was sure that the area was clear, I began looking for loot in the chests. We found a diamond pickaxe, and that's all that was really useful. And with nothing else worth taking, I began moving down into the Bastion, first dealing with a hoglin in the way. Unfortunately, the lava I used ended up pouring down the exact stairway I intended to use, forcing me to take a more precarious route down. At the bottom, I found a chest with some obsidian, then ventured further in and uncovered our gold route. After mining some gold, all the piglins in the area are now angry at me, so once everything was set up, I released the floodgates and began trading. However, being paranoid about mobs getting in, I set up barriers around the room and mined the remaining gold blocks. But when the piglins finished trading, I realized I had a problem. I didn't get enough ender pearls or obsidian. At this point, what I haven't explained is that this bastion is called a stables bastion, and uncovering our gold route was actually a 50-50 chance. There could have been nothing behind that block, which would have meant no gold and no piglins to trade with over there. Not wanting to travel another 5,000 blocks to find another bastion, I had to rely on the second section also having gold, another 50-50 chance. That brought our overall odds of this bastion working out to just 1 in 4. It was air. We were getting our pearls and we were getting our obsidian. And with just a little more trading, we had all that we would need, and so it was time to move on to the fortress. And after some searching, with just 4 minutes to go, we finally found it. I heroically jumped in and failed the boat clutch, but there was no time to think. I pushed onwards and found the blaze spawner with just 3 minutes to go. The first 2 dropped their rods, and 2 more quickly took their places, refusing to drop any. It was a rush against time. I had to clear space so that more blazes could spawn, and spawn they did. With just over 2 minutes to go, 3 appeared, of which 2 dropped rods. Whilst waiting for more to spawn, I built the portal that would take us back home, and bam! 2 more spawned, 1 dropping a rod. I lit the portal, and a few seconds later, 3 more appeared, with 2 of them dropping rods. I had enough rods. With just a minute to go, it was time to leave. And as much as I'd like to say I beat the end in that 1 minute, I instead took the time to reflect. In just 1 hour, we had gone from the top of a tall birch tree to being prepared to wage all-out war with the Ender Dragon. And we were going to win.